What's up everyone, Zach Dettmore here with another video about organization, and today I wanted to talk about bidding a large project. Now, you have to understand that I am a career carpenter. I am not a career construction manager, so some of my tactics are antiquated and I know that, but I like to share how I do things because there are other people like me out there who maybe haven't seen some of the more advanced softwares that are out there. So I'm just showing you what works for me. But if you want to drop in the comments a more efficient way of doing it, I'd love to learn so the community as a whole and myself in particular can get better at doing this. But what I've done over the years is sometimes a lead will come to me that looks like an attractive lead, and the customer will say, let's call it a bathroom. They'll say, hey, I'm located in your town, Zach, and I would like a, we'll say it's kitchen renovation and, some minor exterior things. And I would like to get a bid from you. I have plans. And I'll say, all right, here's what I can do. Let me take a look at those plans quickly. I'll put a rough budget together. And if that number seems reasonable to you, then maybe I'll go visit the project, learn a little bit more, but I want to make sure that we're a good fit financially. I may not use that exact terminology, but I want to make sure that my budget isn't completely unrealistic when compared to your expectations. So what I'll do is I'll pull up this spreadsheet here, right? And it basically just breaks down the cost of the project into columns so I can make sure when I'm thinking of the project that it makes sense. So here we go. Starts off with permit cost. Say it's $600, say it's $1,000. That's pretty common. A silt fence, we do not need that for a kitchen renovation. A job site toilet, we do need that. We need it for, say, 3 months. We are going to need about 5 dumpsters probably. So that's going to be about $4,000. There's not going to be any engineering costs because they already hired a architect. There's going to be no excavation. There is going to be no site work. There's going to be no scaffolding. There is going to be a post-renovation cleaning service, but it's just a kitchen. So $2,000 seems more than generous for that. Setup and breakdown, so that's how many times I have to come in and set tools up and then remove them. 40 hours seems like a fine amount of time. Will this customer have us handling materials for them? Probably they will. They always do. So let's say 30 hours at $90 an hour to do that. Landscaping, we won't be doing any landscaping for them. Demolition, let's see. We do have to do some demolition, but it's just a kitchen. $4,300 seems like what my demolition contractor might charge me. This house is fairly recently built, so we're not going to do any lead or asbestos subcontracting. There's no masonry work, and there's no welding. There is no railing. There is minimal framing. So we'll say there's always a little bit of framing, but we'll just say that there's $2,000 worth of something. We're not sure what yet. Electric, there's always a lot of dedicated lines, but it's only a kitchen. Let's call it $6,500 because it's a relatively new house. There's not much modification there. Plumbing, it's a direct replacement. Oh, we'll say it's not a direct replacement because why are we going to get plans if it's a direct replacement, right? So plumbing, let's say there is $2,900 for just the sink and they're going with an electric range or something. I don't know. Insulation, relatively new house, not a lot, but we are doing that. $2,000 of framing. So we'll say there's another $1,000 of whatever insulation. Drywall, probably $13,000 is too high, but we do have miscellaneous wall that we need to move. We'll call it $4,500 for doing that and patching a ceiling. Tiling, the only tiling we have is the backsplash, and that's going to be $900. Now we have a wood flooring. Typically we end up refinishing. Looks like they want the whole first floor done, which the floor is 1,000 square feet. It's $10, so that's $10,000. Well, that's a little bit high for refinishing. That would be a new floor. Call it $5,000. There is no work on the stairs. There is no roofing. There is no siding. There is no exterior carpentry. There is painting of the kitchen, but we think it's only going to be $6,500 for that one room and then finish carpentry. We have to install all the cabinets. We have to do all the trim. We're going to say $15,000 for that. Now we've got interior trim we need to purchase, but not a lot, so we'll call it $1,000. We've got to put new siding on. No, we don't. We already said there was no siding. We got to buy some lumber, but that'll probably be like $800 because there's not much of it. And we've got no bathroom. We've got to buy the kitchen cabinets, so $40,000 for those. We got to buy some countertops, but it looks like they want cheap ones, so we'll call them $4,800. Not that that necessarily is cheap, but that's what I'm calling cheap in this instance. We've got appliances. That's a reasonable budget for that, for this fictitious project. We have no windows. We have an interior door. We do have one, but it's only $300. And then we have an exterior door. We do not have any because we have no exterior carpentry. There is one closet, we're calling it a pantry, but it is a little bit intricate, so we'll call it $1,600 just to get some standards, basic shelving in there. Shower doors, none. Other millwork, none. HVAC, we have to do a couple toe kick heaters or something, toe kick blowers. We'll call it $400 just for miscellaneous rerouting events, a contingency. So there might be some error there, so let's say $4,000 worth of stuff I may not be thinking of. Project management, why don't we charge this client $10,000 to manage this renovation, and dust collection and setup, if they want that, we're going to charge them $1,000. It's only one room, but those filters are expensive, so it looks like their renovation is going to be $150,000. So now I know, okay, those are approximately what my costs are. What is my difficulty rate? What am I not thinking about? What kind of profit do I need to make on this job? What am I missing? But at least I have a more educated way to make a guess, and it didn't take me that long to get there. I could send the client this and say, here's a little worksheet. Does this make sense to you? Or I could tighten this up a bit. But this is available for download if you want to add it to your repertoire. It's a very simple spreadsheet. Wouldn't take long to make one for yourself, but you can find it at dettmore.com/resources. And it's just a handy way of making sure you didn't forget anything. Maybe you'd add that whole thing up and you would have forgotten the appliances or the windows or something. So you can always add and subtract things. But that's one of the little tools I use. I find because it's so simple, it's easier for me to go to something very simple and just add numbers in really quick and say, I'm sorry, there's no way I can do that kitchen renovation for less than $150,000. And they'll say, $150,000, that's ridiculous. Well, here's the numbers. Some people don't like sharing the numbers, but you can say, looks like we have to get your cabinets for $7, and then I can do this project for less, whatever it is. So there you go. Hopefully this was helpful. See you on the next organizing video.